Hi everybody, it's Ed. Back again with a little bit of trading magic. I just saw this video where this guy's on America's Got Talent and he's pulling beer, glasses of beer out of a paper bag, and then he pulls glasses of beer out of his boot, and then he pulls glasses of beer out of a jacket sleeve, which is apparently empty, and then he pulls an empty glass out and then pours beer out of his boot into the glass. Just amazing. Well, hopefully you're going to find this video just as amazing. This is of you can see a 250 delta volume chart of the S&P H contract. And I put this in playback mode because I wanted to show you guys kind of in slow motion what happened and what I was seeing, and where you can have high probability trades without a whole lot of stop loss, without a whole lot of risk. Okay, so it's right. Let's see. This is 4:02. Cash market's closed. Broad market's still open, of course, still for trading futures down here. This is what the chart looks like. We've got VWAP down here. We got value area low, VPOC, and value area high. Now, what I'd like to mention is that the value area high and value area low are coming from a 10-minute volume profile. Okay, there's very little stuff on this chart. I mean, it looks a little busy, but there's very little stuff. Let me pop over here and you can see I've got a 10-minute volume profile. I've got high volume at price. I've got VPOC buying exhaustion and selling exhaustion on here. Volume value area lines. VWAP is on there. I've got MML lines, and this is a very interesting study. It's called Ask Volume Bid Volume Difference Text, and what that does is it tells you the ask volume, the buyers minus the sellers, and it puts it up to the top of the candle, right? And you can sorry, I've been a little bit dry today. You can put it at the top or the bottom of the bar, wherever you want to do it, and the offset and the ticks on the top or the bottom. You can put that up there. So I kind of like it at the top of the bar. So anyway, there's not much here. Okay, the only thing that's special is VPOC per bar, which is just that's just my order flow study, and the only thing that's turned on is VPOC buying and selling exhaustion. That's all that I'm looking at right now. Okay. So first thing I want to draw your attention to is you can see there's a huge VPOC right here. Lots of volume in here. You can see these numbers. They're all positive until we get here, a little bit of a pullback to VPOC. Right? You've got a buying exhaustion here. Didn't go anywhere. Why? Because here's your value area low all the way down here. Here's your value area high pointing almost straight up. So my market's not ready to short it. Well, it comes right up here. You're starting to flatten out your value area high. Now you got a pin bar. You got negative volume, and here we go down. Okay, so there's a great place for a great place for short. Even though you didn't get a buying exhaustion up here, you're still running up against a flattening value area high. So you come down. You can take a contract off down here at the bottom. That's where value area low was. Continued down, we blew through there. You can see with the VPOC pointing sharply down. Came down, you got a selling exhaustion, selling exhaustion, selling exhaustion, selling exhaustion. See, the market's trying to turn, right? You got buying exhaustion here, which is preventing the push to the upside. Selling exhaustion, selling exhaustion. All of a sudden you get this guy in the buying exhaustion, if you don't have one in sight. So it goes back up here. See the transition from negative volume to positive volume here, and if you watch that, you can see that in real time. So we're going up, there's a buying exhaustion there. We don't quite make it up to value area high. Okay, we've got an up candle. See that divergence, that delta volume divergence there? We got an up candle. It closes down, but we got negative volume. So here we go, and you can see that over here too. You can see the flip right there. You can see the flip most noticeably right there, where you've got that divergence. Green candle, red volume, red delta volume. So it comes down. It's coming down off that level. Here's the push to catch up anybody that, number one, anybody want to get in the short. Number two, taking out stops of people that already gotten short and had their stop loss up here. So now we're going to take it out. So here we come back down, and let's got one more bar. You got buying exhaustion up here. Now looks like we're going to retest value area low right there at 46.55.75. So if I was taking a high probability trade, I would put a long right there, right at value area low, and I'd have a stop 45.56.75. I can have my stop 2 ticks down. Okay, so I'm at 46.55.25. Okay, so I got a 2 ticks risk. I've got a high probability bounce because it bounced there before and came back up. Why wouldn't it bounce there again? Here's the retest. Let me play it for you. See, you're starting to see volume. Now you saw, what did you just see? You saw negative volume. You've got a VPOC right here. You saw the volume jump. VPOC's here, selling exhaustion here. Value area low is right here. Pushing the selling exhaustion, they're jumping the selling exhaustion, but it's not, price didn't go anywhere, right? So that would be even more of a high probability long trade. 97. Now see the volume? We're pushing down. They were pushing down, and they're absorbing all this volume down there. That's what I'm saying. The volume was negative. You were increasing negative volume, and then it wasn't going anywhere. So now all of a sudden you get a little bit of pullback, negative volume, negative, negative. Now we go positive at the top of that candle. So great entry. Now we got a little bit of a pullback. See the amount of, look at all that negative volume down there. All that negative volume pushed it back down, but it didn't penetrate that selling exhaustion right there. We got the exact same case. Now we've got, if you saw that, we had positive volume on a doji. All of it, and where are we going to go? Here we go, go up. So you had 2 chances to get into that long trade. Okay, if you came back down, that's okay. It comes back out down here. If you bust that trade, you get back in when it comes back up. You've lost 2 ticks, $25. You've got $25 at risk per contract. And see now, see how the volume point of control, the bar VPOC moved up off that value area low. It was here. It moved up. Okay, price was up here. What it tends to do when you see that, it tends to push price back up instead of try to hold it down. Right? VPOC underneath price action will tend to provide support. So here we go upside. I'm gonna jump these bars because it's not really that important. So we got this nice long bar. Where did it go? Right to value area high, right? But you've got a huge amount of volume. Remember these are 250 delta volume bars. So that should be 250. That's 272. There's a lot of volume pushing up there, which means that we'll probably bust that value area high. Now, if you wanted to take the high probability trade, see these flattened out here. There's support, there's resistance. Support, value area low, resistance, value area high. What happens? You could take, if you're trading multiple contracts, okay, you got, say for example, you got 2 in, right? So you can take 2 contracts off right there, or sorry, one contract off there, leave 1 on a runner. I'm going to move this down a little bit and show you what happens next. See, you've got a little bit of volume, negative 72 pushing down. Then you got a selling exhaustion. The VPOC pops right back up. You see the VPOC coming from down here, jumped all the way up here, right? You got a selling exhaustion underneath that VPOC. What does that do? That tends to make the market lift. So let's watch the volume. Negative 30, negative 33. See, it didn't go down. On negative volume, it's going up. So yeah, the buyers at this point are overwhelming the sellers, which we expected, since we had positive volume of 272 on that 250 delta volume candle. We expected that. That was an expected behavior. So the buyers are definitely overwhelming the sellers at this point. You got all the selling coming in. Probably it may be profit takers up here, but the market's not going anywhere. Look at that. All that negative volume, the market did not go anywhere, and then all of a sudden, boom, jumped up. You got a buying exhaustion up here, which didn't, of course, hold. I wouldn't expect it to. Now, it's kind of getting late. I tend to do these videos late. So we're above value area high. Okay, we're at VPOC. I expect that value area high to jump up here. Here's a buying exhaustion. Multiple contracts, a perfect place to take off another contract. You've got some negative delta volume. So getting out, buying or selling one to get out of the long trade there at 46.63. Yeah, that'd be logical. So you got one off here, you got one off here. You're well in profit from down here. If you took the entry down here, you're well in profit, regardless of the entry method. So okay, you're in profit now. So let's play. See what happens. 114, 140. See, there's negative volume. We still keep pushing up. The buyers are just overwhelming the sellers here. There's a VPOC at 62.75. Price is above that. This is going to tend to act as support. If it comes back down, it may come back down. Then again, it may jump back up. Okay, it's coming down to VPOC. Now, value area highs popped up there. What did we do? That acted again. Like I said, that VPOC acting support. The VPOC's moving up. We're going up with the same at the same time. Now you can see this. This is, volumes falling off here. People probably taking some profits up here. And if you look left, you can see why. Okay, let me pause this for a second. If you look left, you can see why people are taking profits. Look at that sucker right there. Oops, right there. At 46.63, what, 25? 46.63, 46.63, 25. You've got a, this was VPOC from the earlier VPOC here from the session. So, yeah, you'd expect that. You'd expect people starting to take profit up here, Maybe people are getting out of their positions. They're going, hey, I was in from, 46.56, 46.63. That's almost 10 points. So I'll take that. Take some off if they're scaling. A lot of these guys are trading multiple contracts, so they'll scale. They'll scale out. They're all in down here, and they start scaling out here, scaling out, and scaling out up here at VPOC, scaling out up here at that VWAP. Yeah, that was VWAP right there. No, I'm sorry, that's VPOC. That was VPOC from earlier. So at any rate, you can see the delta volume just positive every time it dips down. Nothing happens. Now we're seeing the opposite result. Nothing's really happening. So there's buyers and sellers. People are trying to get in. People are trying to get out here. Just to, they got some contracts here. They're trying to scale out right there. So they scaled out. Buyers are coming back in. You can see the delta. Now see that price jumping up. That's just amazing. So we're, we're 5 minutes into the market, into that, past that point. Very, very high is above VPOC. Very high keeps moving up, and then we'll expect to see it jump up. Here's buying exhaustion. We just sweep right through that buying exhaustion. You get a little bit of a pullback here. A little more of a pullback. People, once that thing goes negative, people will tend to start, taking a contract off. Because they don't want it coming back in their face. And I get it. I understand that. Here again, here's VPOC. VPOC's down here, acting as support, which is that previous cyan bar also. It tends to act as support there. So here we go. We're going back up, going back up, going back up. So you've got an MML resistance zone up here. You've got support here. You got value area high here, which you're pushing through. So value area high will tend to it will shift up in a little bit. See, it'll come back down to VPOC, bounce back off, come back down to VPOC. They're trying to scare people. I'm going to scare them out of their positions. Okay, 253. I got a selling exhaustion down here. Got a lot more buyers. The buyers are coming in. Somebody sold up here, and that was they're selling more because there's VPOC. There's that other VPOC right there. So they're selling more. Probably scaling out of their positions a little bit. It's the end of the day. 1608. Let me pause this. Let me just go to the next bar. As you'll see, it came down to VPOC. It pretty much pinned off VPOC and then went north, blew past value area high, blew past all the buying exhaustions here, and you go. Now you're starting to get buying and selling exhaustion on the same bar. So to me, that says, okay, let's start exercising a little bit of caution because we're starting to come into an area which we may the buying volume may peter out. Okay, so your VPOC is above value area high. We haven't shifted up yet. I'm waiting for the shift. Okay, see, it came right back down to value area high, pinned off it, going back up, got selling exhaustions, going back up, and I'm on a replay, but you could have seen this in real time if you were watching it. I just wanted to replay it to show you guys what was going on. So we're going up, we're going up, we're going up. Volume is, delta volume is increasing. Starting to slow down a little bit because of the buying exhaustion. Somebody's scaling out up here. And there's another, here's another level up here. There we go. Now, did you see what happened? Did you see what happened when all of a sudden you had value area low, which is all the way down here? Remember, we didn't forget about a value area low. All of a sudden, it went bam, jumped up right up to this area. So that's another strong indication. Start looking for getting out of your long position up here. Start looking at the thing turning around, because you got value area high up here, we got value area low up here. There, I'll just kind of zoom in on that. You've got a VPOC here, right? But you have to take that in context. End of the day, and you're running right up against value area high, value area low. It's all squeezed up in here. So let's start watching these deltas. See, okay, we got up to 78, 236, 113, but we're not able to, we're not able to push any farther. That was it, right? Got 127, and you got falling volume now. Delta volume's dropping off. I started to think about turning it around. VWAP started to turn down. Now your VPOC is from here. Your VPOC is shifted down, which to me that tells me, okay, fine, we're going down. We're shifting our focus here from buyers to sellers. Now you're seeing all this stuff. You're seeing a significant push down on not a tremendous amount of volume there. Now you're starting to see the sellers come in. See, now the sellers came in, but you can see where they turned it around right up here. When they popped up here, that's when you start looking for that short position. And you can see it came off that position very nicely again. And it came ultimately down here. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys some of that magic to be able to figure out all of this volume, these delta volume candles. All this volume is just pouring into the market. The buyers are pouring into the market. They're obviously getting capped on this bar, right? I got a very, very small bar. I have a 251 volume bar to the upside, and it's not going anywhere. Somebody's up here, just eating all that stuff. It's like, fine, you want to buy it up and push it up? Okay, fine, cool. Hey, I'll absorb all that volume up there, and that's what somebody did, and then it came back down. And it was a pretty obvious. It was obvious here, and it was obvious up here, and you can see these things all over the chart. It's just absolutely amazing. Anyway, that's it. Just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of what I was seeing at the you can see it at the close, but you see these things if you scroll back. You can see these things all over the charts, where it just volume is just screwing around here, but you're not getting anywhere. This is just choppy crap, and then VPOC moves down, and that's that's the nail in the coffin. VPOC here, VPOC here, VPOC here. Those are all nails in the coffin for the buyers. You can see way up here. You can see that jump. Actually, it wasn't really a jump. It was just a kind of a slow walk up of that. This flattened out. There's your support line. Now, flattened out. Here's your resistance. Support, resistance, support, resistance. Where we just came off for resistance. Where are we going to go? Support. Right? So, you're coming back down. There you go. So, there's your targets off. I mean, there's targets all over here. Value area low, trading down to it. Pull back, trade right to it. If you didn't get a fill there, you got a fill there. So, anyway, yeah, like I said, you can see these all over this chart, and it's a very simple chart to put together. If you'd like, leave a comment, and I can just go ahead and export this little chart. I can export this chart as a chart book, so you guys can have that, and instead of having to build your own, just make it easy for you if you want. So leave a comment and say I want it, and I'll put it over the free software area. Okay? Alright, you guys, it's quad witching tomorrow. Be very careful tomorrow trading. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know your levels, if you don't know, if you're not looking for stuff like this, and this stuff like this happens every day. If you're not looking for stuff like this, hey, it's Friday. Take the day off. Go play with your kids or your grandkids or whatever. Go boating, go sailing, go hiking, go do something. Maybe get away from the charts. I mean, take a well-deserved break. The last couple of weeks have been pretty brutal on the markets, and there's a lot of people that have basically screwed up their accounts. Trying to help you guys, show you where you can trade these markets and survive. All right, take care, guys. See ya.